Also, our keynote speaker is Dr. Kritsaporn, Sujjavorakul, King Chulalongkorn Memorial Hospital, with the title Mortality Rate and Rank of Stay Prediction with Machine Learning of Resource Management in Pediatric Intensive Care Unit. Please welcome.
Good afternoon, everyone. Today, I'm proud to present my research project. It's called Mortality Rate and Length of Stay Prediction with Machine Learning for Resource Management in Pediatric Intensive Care Unit. I came from Critical Care Excellence Center, King Chulalongkorn Memorial Hospital, one of the biggest university hospital in Thailand, in collaboration with Dr. Wuttipong from KMUTT. Okay. Project background. My project background is really simple. My problem is that we know that the difficulty in providing care for the critically ill patient, we never have enough resource for critically ill patient. The ability to admit the critically ill patient to the ICU is depend on the available ICU beds, which is always limited. Refusing any patient may mean the death for that one. But it is impossible to increase the number of beds beyond the essential capacity in all time. So, caring for the patient in such critical situation demand the innovative approach to ensure the safety and efficiency of the healthcare. So, this is some objective data about how important to have available beds in the ICU. In 1997, we know that length of stay is an important indicator for hospital performance. In the COVID era, last 2 years, 2020, 2021, we know that every time that every percent that ICU more occupied, we found that the mortality rate it increased exponentially. And in our hospital, we found that we have to reject the patient about 20. In this graph, okay. I cannot show it, okay? In this graph is from my hospital, we found that about 20% of the patients have to be rejected from the ICU. So we are focusing on the integrate machine learning technology and caring theory to effectively allocate resource for maximum the beneficial for the patient. This is a framework methodology that we propose in this presentation. We combination of two innovations, including the machine learning and AI for the data source one. And we use the curing theory for the data source two. Let me explain more in detail. The data source one is a patient level data, especially in the first 24 hours, to build the model to expect that the length of stay of the patient in the ICU will be how many days, or the patient have how high of the mortality rate. And then we collaborate this data to the hospital utilization rate or patient flow in the hospital to create the final outcome that we to learn about the bed allocation model that is best for each situation. Architecture of our study will be look like this. For the first thing about the patient level data which is mostly focused on the first 24-hour information. We pre-process the data with the imputation, normalization, and feature selection, and use the machine learning prediction model. In this sample, we use the bidirectional long short-term memory and fine-tuning the model and evaluating. After that, we do the analysis and look inside to the information we have in combination with hospital resource utilization for manage the most appropriate patient flow that is appropriate to our situation. At this level, we think the Erlang-B model is the most appropriate model at this time. After that, we can do the scenario calculation by calculate the most efficient way to manage the resource during normal situation or emergency situation. And we will send the data to the medical team, healthcare personnel, or resource allocation personnel to manage the resource in the hospital. And ultimately, we hope that in the future, this proposed method, this architecture will build in the hospital system into the real-time decision-making system for the hospital. This is the experimental result because at this point we are at the very beginning of the project, so we don't have the database for our pediatric patient yet. So we use the open source data from NICT version 1.4, which is the open source ICU patient data. And we test this data and found that at this point, the bidirectional long short-term memory model is the most appropriate model for this kind of data that have acceptable area under the log curve for both mortality and length of stay of the patient. Impact of this study in terms of scientific and technology. Our innovative approach signify a pioneer step in the integration of the AI and ICT technology within the field of medicine. It will pave the way for advancement in healthcare analytics and data-driven decision-making with the ultimate aim of enhancing resource allocation and patient care in our country. For the society, our innovative approach to the mortality rate and length of stay prediction with machine learning holds significant promise for the Thai healthcare system. By accurately forecasting the patient outcome, it enables healthcare providers to allocate resources more efficiently and make well-informed decisions. This ultimately results in improved healthcare access for the people of Thailand, ensuring that the medical services are available when needed and reduce the waiting time for the critical care patient. This will lead to economic benefit by utilizing resources more effectively and also ensure that funds are available for other healthcare needs, ultimately benefiting for the broader society. In terms of the collaboration, our method emphasizes the importance of interdisciplinary collaboration between our team, that is including healthcare professionals like me, the data scientist team, and technology expert. This collaboration drives the development and application of advanced healthcare analytics, allowing for the better resource management. We contribute to the betterment of the Thai healthcare system, bringing about the improvement in healthcare access and patient outcome. And I believe that the problem of the insufficiency of the ICU is not limited to the Thailand. We know that this problem is found around the world, and the COVID-19 already proved it, that even in the US that have the most resource available, they cannot solve this problem at this time. Finally, we hope that we can enhance the quality of life for everyone. This is the example of the outcome that for the mortality prediction model and length of stay prediction model, the method will provide the prediction plot. For the mortality we have two classes, that is death or survive. And for the length of stay outcome will be classified into 4 classes. If we got the bed allocation model, we hope that we can find the appropriation of bed resource in the hospital to maintain the quality of service within 90 to 98% in normal situation and ready for any emergency condition. We hope that the utilization of the machine learning for mortality rate and length of stay prediction introduce the data-driven decision-making in the pediatric intensive care unit. Healthcare providers can make more informed choice about resource allocation, leading to better patient outcome and ultimately saving their life. This will be the proactive resource allocation and reduce the patient rejection rate that will be benefit for mankind. Future direction. The future research will focus on investigating innovative and distinct approach to enhance the efficiency and effectiveness of resource allocation in healthcare system. This novel method aims to ensure that healthcare facility can better manage resource to epidemic or emergency situation. Our future project plan are dedicated to creative the integrate healthcare decision support system, focus on broad comprehensive medical decision making and resource allocation. This system will incorporate predictive model for mortality rate, length of stay, and other pivotal medical parameters. It empowers healthcare professionals with the tool need to make informed decision making that optimize the patient care. Key takeaway: we propose the method to predict the mortality rate, length of stay, and bed allocation. This innovation employ deep learning model which may be the bidirectional long short-term memory and the queuing theory tailored to medical application. The technological innovation to analyze patient data, predict outcome, ultimately lead to the patient improve the patient care and hospital efficiency, reduce the strain of the healthcare budget, and healthcare facility can optimize resource allocation. And finally, we hope that with this project, we can enhance quality of life of the public health. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you so much for very impressive presentation. By the way, we still have 9 minutes for question and suggestion.
Okay, we're looking for your suggestion.
And actually, in this project, we have Dr. Kritsaporn as a healthcare professional. And we also have Dr. Wuttipong, the previous speaker, as the machine learning expert. So I think you can have any question. So please. Yeah.
Yes, could you be elaborate more about the bed allocation? You mean like how we do the bed allocations, like how many beds or what? I'm sorry.
Okay, so normally when we talk about the bed allocation, it's a long problem in medical issue that because we have a lot of patients, we don't know that how many ICU bed will be enough for the patient in each situation. But sometimes when we spare more bed, it means that we use more resource. But sometimes it's like a seasoning. During some time, like for pediatric patient, in rainy season, we have a lot of RSV, flu, or something like that have a surge of the patient during that time that need more ICU. But sometime during the summer, maybe the patient stay at home, don't have any infectious disease. So if we have the machine learning that can learn about the flow of the patient in the hospital, that with this number of the patient in the hospital, we have to spare how many ICU beds for this situation. And we can use our budget to distribute to other parts of the healthcare provider. And during we know that during the rainy season, we have to spare more, but we never know that how much is enough. When we know that the patient in ICU will have how long length of stay, how much mortality, and how high the demand outside the ICU, we can prepare in advance that how much we have to prepare to decrease the reject rate and improve the quality of service. That's what I mean by the improve the flow of the patient.
In terms of engineering, basically, we view the bed allocation as a Erlang B or the Erlang C in terms of the wireless communication problems. In the sense that after we compute the length of stay or the predict length of stay, we can at least know that how many beds that we require to reserve to certain quality of service. It's the same thing we have 100 students, and we only can have three less room that can serve everyone. Why we can serve everyone? Because of somebody. I mean that everyone can do not go to the restroom at the same time. Therefore, that we predict the length of stay, and after that use this prediction in the Erlang B and Erlang C to calculate the number of the beds. And with the information from the doctor together to decide how many beds that we should have and how we can how should we should we increase the bed or the what is the quality of service that we can provide to the patient?
Yeah, if the floor have any comment or question, please. We still have 5 minutes.
Just a couple of questions. One is, what are the ethical issues that you have encountered so far? And what are the legal pitfalls that you may encounter in the future?
Pardon? Okay, the first question again, please.
Ethical issues, ethics.
Ethical issue.
Yes.
You mean in terms of using the patient data or something like that?
Yeah.
Okay. For ethical issue, we have two parts. As I say that we have two sources of information. The first part of the data source, that is the patient level data. If we want to study indeed, we have to, we call it the IRB, Institutional Review Board, that we are in the process of asking for the IRB to get the information to work with the model. That's why at this point we have to use the open source data to preliminary study. But about the data source too, that is the hospital utilization data. It don't have any patient identification data. It's not a patient level. So in this part we can get the information without any ethical issue for that part. So we need to work on both we have to work with the hospital for the ethical permission, and also de-identify the patient data. Just get only the necessary data into the model.
What about the legal pitfalls?
Legal pitfall?
Yeah, let's say your system decide that he shouldn't be admitted, or she, and then he died, and
Okay.
then they sue you.
Okay, about the legal issue.
Yeah.
So far at this point, that problem always happen. I mean, because as I say that the rejection rate of our hospital, that is one of the biggest hospital of Thailand, is still at about 20%. It happens every day.
The point is, if it is going to be a system, then you have to have an insurance to be able to cover you. I mean, that is a real issue.
Okay. I mean that the legal issue, I think this will help about that issue, because we hope that this kind of system will decrease the rejection rate compared to nowadays. So I don't think that this system will cause any legal issue.
You better discuss that.
Yeah.
The second question, sorry. There is a lot of work being done regards to mortality rate in actuarial science. Maybe you can have a look at British medical journals. They have done a lot, especially in the context of setting the premium for insurance. So they have done a very, very detailed work on that, on mortality rate. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Actually, I have a quite similar question. Yeah, in case that you are forecasted length of stay is shorter than the real situation.
Okay.
How you manage? Because I feel it's really difficult because your patient is in the ICU.
Okay. Because we didn't intend to use this system to be the final decision making. Ultimately, the final decision making will be depend on the physician who is in charge for the patient. So this one just like a guide to predict a near future, that what will happen in the future. But the management will not depend on the prediction, but the management will still depend on the doctor who will take care of the patient. But this one is like a guide that let they know what is going to happen in the near future. So it's like giving him more information to make the decision making, but not use this to be the decision making instead of himself.
Thank you so much. We have 30 seconds left. Yeah, maybe if no more question or comment, thank you so much, Dr. Kritsaporn.
Thank you very much.
And so the next one will be from Vietnam. So if you are ready, please start.
Yeah, good afternoon. Thank you very much for being here today. So on behalf of my research team, I want to show you all our research on AI-based computer-aided diagnosis approach. And so, you know, the healthcare landscape in the ASEAN region face numerous challenges, including like limited access to specialized medical expertise, resources constraints, and the integration of AI into healthcare system has the potential to mitigate these challenges by assisting healthcare professionals in diagnosing diseases and disorders more efficiently. So, AI-driven computer-aided systems have shown promise in other parts of the world, and this proposal seeks to adapt and optimize the technologies for the unique healthcare environment of ASEAN. So far, our final results, including clinical diseases diagnosis system, which can predict illnesses based on symptoms, and a paraclinical diagnosis system consists of a computer-aided diagnosis model which can detect and classify abnormalities from chest X-ray images, and a model to diagnose malaria from blood smear image. So my presentation will encompass the following key components. Firstly, I will give you a detailed overview of our data aggregation and integration processes. Then I'll dive deep into the models. It's like including deep learning algorithms designed for disease predictions and abnormalities detection. And lastly, some key results will be presented. So a thorough and timely investigation of any health-related issues is crucial for disease prevention and treatment. In our investigation, we sought to accurately predict a disease based on the symptoms of the patient. So our first data set for this research came from a study by Xiaoyan Wang et al. They presented a knowledge base of disease symptom associations derived from summarized record of patients admitted to New York hospital in 2004. And a second disease symptom database is collected from cargo source as well. The final clean dataset yielding a list of around 150 disorders with approximately 1,000 different symptoms. On the paraclinical side, we collected data for two purposes: abnormalities detections and classification on chest X-ray images, and malaria detection from blood smear. We used the VIN Doctor Chest X-ray dataset for the first subject. It consists of over 100,000 DCOM images sourced from two major Vietnamese hospitals. Board-certified radiologists label each image into 22 probable local abnormalities and 5 global disorders using VIN Labs web-based labeling tools. Besides that, this study utilized 4 datasets of malaria-infected blood smear. In total, there were 250,000 cells across approximately 3,000 images. So that's about our dataset. Let's dive deep into the algorithm. The prediction system is built using the ensemble approach, which utilize 3 distinct algorithms: the random forest, the decision tree, and knife bias. Using these classifiers, our prediction system employs an ensemble models. In order to improve the prediction methodologies, a voting mechanism is used to assign values to different classifiers, which act as weights for our ensemble algorithm. Let's say the higher the weight, the more the classifier's output will be prioritized. Accuracy, precision, recall, and F1 score are the benchmark performance assessment matrices that were employed. Secondly, in this study, we construct a disease diagnosis tool that use deep learning on X-ray images. We propose a two-step procedure for inference. The initial stage is to do target identification using certain classic approaches, such as YOLO V5. The image classifier is then used to do binary classification. Let's say if there is an anomaly or not. And if the image is considered to be normal, we will compare the normal probability to our thresholds. If our probability is less than the low threshold, we maintain our previous prediction. If that probability exceeds the high threshold, the normal prediction is used instead. Otherwise, we just simply add the normal prediction to the outcome. So about the malaria diagnosis approach, we simply take a blood smear as input. The faster RCNN detector will localize and classify if that cell is healthy red blood cell or non-healthy red blood cell. This means it can be a white blood cell or parasite-infected red blood cell. So then for all of the non-healthy red blood cells, we will crop all of them and pass to our multi-class classifier to predict the exact categories, like white blood cell or parasite stage. In this study, we employ the K-fold cross-validation approach for both of the paraclinical models because when we have a tiny data set, let's say medical data often seems to be tiny and imbalanced. K-fold cross-validation will let us analyze a model more thoroughly and accurately. We use K equal to 5. Our model was then tested using the MAP matrix at the IOU equal to 0.5, in which IOU is a measure of an overlap between the predicted results and the ground truth bounding box. We also propose a permission blockchain system solution for storing and sharing healthcare records based on the Hyperledger fabrics and some cryptography techniques also. We use Hyperledger fabric because it's a private chain and it can address the shortcoming of security in permissions. For sensitive data such as personal data of patient like ethical problem, Hyperledger fabric or private chain will be used to address this. In addition, we use IPFS to store off-chain data. It has minimized transaction and storage costs while also improving the system scalabilities. We use typical cryptography technologies to enhance the proposed system's security, such as we use homomorphic encryption with the BFV scheme to write the new data without decrypt the old one. And we use non-interactive zero-knowledge proofs to verify a patient's ownership of any electronic health records. So for proving our potential results, we compare our technique to the other methodologies. For the illness prediction, many studies have employed some traditional models such as SVM, KNN, RUSBoost, etc. So for the prediction of over 150 diseases and over 1,000 discrete symptoms, with the voting ensemble, we attain the maximum accuracy of 98.3%, which is deemed high when compared to most of the other approaches presented. On the side of chest X-ray abnormalities detection model, we use MAP 0.5 to test accuracy of the YOLO V5 single model and compare to the combination model YOLO V5 plus ResNet VT. Employing simply the YOLO V5 model, we achieve a maximum F1 score of 76% at the threshold of 0.203. But these values are 77% and 0.213 respectively when using our suggested model. Furthermore, to evaluate the performance of our proposed model objectively, we compare it to other classic models such as CheckNet, Faster ASEAN, and VGG. And overall, when classifier is combined before detector, the result grow dramatically. This illustrates that our proposed framework make the false positives rate decrease, which increase the model accuracy. So finally, we evaluated our faster RSNN malaria diagnosis model on the testing set with also MAP 0.5, 0.7, and the threshold from 0.5 to 0.09 with a step 0.05. And the result is 91%, 81%, and 65% respectively, as the table you can see on the screen. Our multi-class classifier, the EfficientNet and SVM, also achieve quite high performance when the macro F1 score reached from 95% to 98% for all minor classes. Which means it worked well on even the imbalanced data set. And so that's all of our presentation. So thank you very much for listening, and I'd like to answer any question you might have. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much for very informative presentation. Yeah, again, we have 8 minutes left. So it's time for question and suggestion, please. Yes.
Thank you very much for your informative talk and very interesting topic. Right? I'm Somchai Bilo from Quang-Vu University. Right? I have many questions. First question first. You said you take a picture from what technique, thin or thick smear? Answer the first section too. Because you said you take off many pictures, right, from the microscope. My question is, what the technique that you take the picture from? What technique, thin or thick smear?
Yeah, thank you for your question. I use a thin blue smear take from a microscope, and actually I collected data from many previous studies. So yeah.
Your answer
thin
is from thin technique, right?
Thin
technique,
yeah,
but
right.
it's very low sensitivity.
Yeah.
Don't forget this point. The second question, you use AI for diagnostic malaria.
Yeah.
My question is, human or simian malaria? Because malaria have many species, such as falciparum, white overlay, malaria E, and simian malaria, a lot of malaria. Your study, what is species?
Our data set is mainly Falciparum species.
Why you didn't classify based on benign or malignant malaria? So that we call falciparum is malignant malaria, is called severe malaria, and another malaria, so that white we classify as benign because it's not produced for severe. But your study, you focus only falciparum, right?
Yeah.
But the most high prevalent in our tropical country is white VIVAC have more prevalent than falciparum? Why you didn't include VIVAC also?
Yeah, because of the data set, why is mainly falciparum? Because the rate of malaria cases that I collected on maybe from the New York hospital, and then from some studies in India, you see, mainly causes by the falciparum species. So is the reason that why our data set is mainly consists of falciparum species. So.
But the last question, you show your relate with clinical data, right? Because you mostly you obtain the data from falciparum, but the infection state, there are many states such as acute or chronic or complication, and your data only the radiology or X-ray. Did you find another correlation such as the blood picture or the biochemical parameter or the complexity from the patient? Did you include on?
Actually, about the malaria detection, I'm just using the plusmear images. It's not the sensor data, because you know what, the medical data is quite hard to gain from, and patient data is very, very sensitive. So I think that from many research before, they say that plusmear image, actually thin plusmear image, is the most efficient way to early diagnose malaria, and then we can use some other sensor data, but it's just quickly diagnose this plusmear is infected by parasite or not. So after that, you can do many things else. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much. I think it's very good opportunity that you can keep discussing about collaboration during this forum. By the way, we still have 3 minutes left. Any more questions or comments? Okay, please.
Maybe a very short question.
Yeah.
In the title of your research, you have 2 keywords, timely and accurate. You mentioned about accuracy. However, I didn't see, I didn't hear timely. What do you mean with timely? Normally with image identification, it takes a long time depending on the amount of the data set.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you. About the timely, I actually firstly the clinical diagnosis, right? When you go to the hospital, you meet the doctor, and you have to answer their questions about your symptoms. Yeah, it took about 15 to 20 minutes to get a diagnosis. But when you use our system, just type into some symptom, and then after 3 to 5 seconds, you get a prediction. Your doctor get the prediction. So it's the first timely improvement. About the chest X-ray diagnosis, a radiologist also took them many, for example, 20, 25 minutes, 30 minutes to look at your chest X-ray image, and then detection, localize the abnormalities, and then classify them. But going through our system, it took about 15 seconds to 20 seconds for each image. The malaria system is also quickly. For 5 plusmear images, it takes us about 7 seconds to 10 seconds to pre-process and then generate the output. So I think that is improve your diagnosis in your time very much.
Okay, thank you so much. Actually, I also have the same question.
Yeah.
Yeah, because your title is about timely. But from your answer, you compare to the manual manual diagnosis. But how about to compare to the other method?
Yeah. Firstly, not talking about the clinical model because our accuracy is like outperform all of the traditional. So time is not the problem at here. This YOLO V5 and ResNet 50, when I use only YOLO V5, it took lately I talk about 15 to 20 seconds in our system. But when using only YOLO V5, it took about 12 to 13 seconds for each image. Yeah, so about 3-4 seconds is just not a problem. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much. Yeah, we run out of time.
Yeah,
Thank
you
you.
very much.
Thank you, Virat, once again. So you may now take a